When I first met Emma, I thought she was someone who prized honesty above everything else. The way she held your gaze, steady and unflinching, almost dared you to try lying to her. I respected that about her. For nearly a year, our relationship seemed perfect. Filled with laughter, long talks deep into the night, and plans for a future that felt real. At least, that's what I let myself believe. Then, one evening, everything I thought I knew shattered with a single text. I was at home, wrapping up some work on my laptop when my phone lit up. I expected one of her usual messages, something sweet like, "Miss you" or "What are you up to?" Instead, I read, "I'm staying at my ex's tonight. Deal with it." At first, I assumed it had to be some sick attempt at humor. I stared at the screen, waiting for a second message that would clear things up. None came. My chest tightened as reality sank in. Her words were blunt and deliberate. There was no misunderstanding them. She wasn't asking for permission, she was telling me. Anger surged in me, but almost immediately something inside shifted. I understood I didn't need to fight, plead, or demand explanations. I typed back a single word, "Okay." But that word wasn't defeat, it was freedom. I stood, walked to the closet where her belongings were, and pulled out a suitcase. One by one, I packed her clothes, shoes, and all the little keepsakes she had left scattered around my place. Each fold, each item tucked away, felt like closing the chapter on a lie I had been living. As I worked, memories of all the red flags I had brushed aside came rushing back. The late nights explained with half-hearted excuses, the sharp defensiveness whenever I asked innocent questions, and the flicker in her eyes that never quite matched her words. She felt distant, even when she was sitting right next to me. For months, my instincts had whispered warnings, but I pushed them aside because I wanted so badly to believe in her. By the time I finished, her suitcase was packed and waiting at the door. I sank onto the couch, staring at it. For the first time in a long while, I felt an odd sense of calm. The worst had already happened. There was nothing left to fight for. If she wanted to run back to her ex, then she could do it without leaving pieces of herself scattered in my life. An hour later, she finally came home. The sight of the suitcase caught her off guard, as though she never imagined I would take her words seriously. "What's this?" she asked, her voice laced with irritation and guilt. I didn't shout. I didn't accuse. I just said, "You said you're staying at your ex's. I figured I'd make it easier for you." Her face cycled through shock, anger, and something like regret, but I stayed steady. I refused to be pulled into her games again. She tried to defend herself, insisting I was overreacting, claiming it didn't mean anything. But my choice was already made. Trust doesn't magically return just because someone knows how to sound convincing. In the end, she picked up her suitcase with shaky hands and walked out without another word. The sound of the door closing felt final, like the last note of a song I never wanted to hear again. My place was quiet, too quiet, but underneath that silence was a sense of release. The days that followed weren't simple. I caught myself missing her laugh, or glancing at my phone expecting her name to appear. But then I'd remember that one message, and it reminded me I had done the right thing. Love should never rest on conditions or betrayals. Real love is built on respect. People think heartbreak comes from losing someone. But mine came from realizing the person I thought I loved never truly valued me. Oddly enough, that truth gave me strength. I wasn't just letting her go. I was reclaiming myself. Now, looking back, I don't regret replying with a simple "okay." It wasn't the end of everything. It was the start of something better. Sometimes the quietest answers speak the loudest truths.